This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Indeed, today is the day for us to reflect on God's goodness and faithfulness. Respected principal and his esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests and resource persons, beloved alumni and present students of Kohima Science College, Josoma, the day that we have anticipated with expectant hearts is finally here. And it gives me great joy and honor to warmly welcome each of you to the much awaited 63rd Kohima Science College Josoma Foundation Day cum Annual Alumni Lecture Series 2. Foundation Day cum Annual Alumni Day provides wonderful prospect for us to reminiscence and reconcile with our past. Such a day as today offers ample opportunity to rekindle all connections as well as pave paths to catalyze and accelerate new collaborations. Seeing the well-structured program ahead, we can't help but agree that it truly shall deliver platforms to bridge gaps in resource sharing across generations, to cast visions, to focus on collective efforts, to mobilize networks, to seize opportunities and address any gap effectively. It is our belief that each of us present here for this auspicious occasion today as dignitaries, resource persons, faculties, present students, alumni, or for that matter, associated with Kohima Science College Josoma in any capacity, play a vital role in advancing unity and efficiency to convince and mobilize resources, ideas, and people to accelerate efforts together for breakthroughs and transformative stepping stones for collective elevations. It is our prayer that the coming together of subsequent batches of alumni and present students of Kohima Science College Josoma year after year will forge the greatest comeback events, through which divine connections will be allied, promises that seem distant will be fulfilled and propelled us into the center of our God's given purposes. We believe that the two panel discussions consequent to the formal program are being designed in such a way so as to set positions for divine opportunities for those aspiring to be one, to meet the right person at the perfect time, and provide cutting edge to new frontiers. We believe that through the discussions that we are about to have with our renowned and accomplished achievers lined up as panelists for today, dormant dreams will be awakened, bursting forth with renewed vigor. A spirit of wisdom and revelation and a spirit that strives for excellence will descend, causing us to shine brightly in our sphere of influence. By mindfully following the instructions of the panelists closely, doors of influence shall open widely, extending our impact far beyond what we ever imagined. With these salutary words as the opening lines for our formal session, we will go into the program. But before that, before we go further into the program, I now invite you all to observe a minute of silence in memory of those associated with Kohima Science College Josoma and had gone ahead to be with the Lord. Shall we all rise to our feet for the quiet moment of silence and prayers? Lord, Our hearts are filled with gratitude for this wonderful opportunity to be united with friends and alumni after our temporary goodbyes and farewells many years back. Stepping into this beautiful campus fills our minds with delightful memories of friends and loved ones who have gone ahead to be with you. Yet with you as our Savior and Master, we believe that we will be gathered at your feet, along with everyone who have already gone ahead of us on that glorious day that you will call each of us home. And we can't thank you enough for taking the place of condemnable sinners like us, and for giving us eternal lives and hopes through your redemptive sacrifice and marvelous grace. We commit each program ahead of us, the participants, moderators, panelists, and everyone present into your throne of grace, and humbly pray that you will enable us to receive your bountiful blessings richly. For all this we ask of you, in Jesus' mighty name, amen. Please be seated. Okay, not many colleges around the world are fortunate enough to be headed by their own alumni, and Kohima Science College Jotsoma is one fortunate college to be subsequently headed by our own alumni. I invite Ma'am R. Muasangla Jamir, class of 1987, and the present Vice Principal of Kohima Science College Jotsoma to deliver the welcome address and college history. Ma'am, you may please come up.
Respected Chairperson, respected Principal, distinguished guest, and alumni, esteemed faculty members, and my dear student friends. Good morning to every one of you present here this morning. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this special occasion of our college 63rd Foundation Day, a day where we not only celebrate the founding of our institution, but also reflect on its growth, achievements, and the incredible journey we have shared together. Today marks the 63rd year of academic excellence, character building, and a commitment to shaping our young minds. Our college, founded on the principles of some core values, has always stood as a beacon of knowledge, innovation, and holistic development of the students. Each year, this day reminds us of the vision laid by our founders and the responsibility we have to uphold their legacy. Kohima Science College, Jotsoma, was established by the founding members with the support of local authorities and communities on 15th September 1961, with a vision to create an institution that not only imparts academic knowledge, but also nurtures the character, values, and overall development of the students. It was initially affiliated to Guwahati University in the early years. It was born out of a strong desire to provide high-quality educations to students from various backgrounds, helping them to realize their potentials. In the early years, Kohima Science College, Jotsoma, started with just a handful of programs and a small group of faculties and students. Despite the challenges of its early days, the institution's commitment to academic excellence and student-centered education began to attract talented students and faculty members. Over the years, New courses and programs were introduced, broadening the academic horizons of the institution. The college expanded its infrastructure to accommodate its growing student population. New academic blocks have come up, state-of-the-art laboratories, libraries, and research centers were established, turning the college into a hub of learning and innovation. From its humble beginnings, the college has grown into a premier institution, offering a wide range of programs across disciplines, fostering academic excellence and innovation and community engagement. The faculty and the students have both been instrumental in contributing to academic research and publications in the national and international forums. The introduction of postgraduate and doctoral programs has further enhanced the academic profile of the institution. The college has also produced many illustrious alumni who have made a mark in various fields such as academic, research, administration, politics, business, and so on. Many of our graduates have also gone on to hold prestigious positions in the government, private sectors, and also in the educational sectors, and have been instrumental in shaping policies and driving innovations in the respective fields. Our college vision is to impart the society as a preeminent institution of teaching, learning, research, innovation, and leadership. As we look to the future, Kohima Science College, Jotsama is committed to staying at the forefront of the education, continuing to innovate and expand its offering to meet the evolving needs of the society and ensuring that students are equipped with all the skills and knowledge to navigate an increasingly complex and interconnected world. In this respect, I would also like to acknowledge our distinguished alumni who have traveled this journey with us. Your continued support, success, and engagement with our college are testament to the value of the education you have received here. Thank you so very much for organizing such a wonderful program. Finally, I express my heartfelt gratitude to our respected panelists for gracing this event with your presence. Your accomplishment and values align with the ideals that this institution seeks to instill in every student, and we are grateful and looking forward to your enlightening sessions. As we come together on this momentous day, let us celebrate not just the history of this institution, but also the bright future we are building together. Let us continue to strive for excellence and nurturing the values of integrity, inclusivity, and innovation. Thank you once again for being part of this celebration. Together, we make our college the exceptional place for it is today. Omnia vincit labo.
Well-structured events such as today's don't just happen overnight. It needs a lot of planning and long hours of toiling. The office bearers and executives of the Alumni Association, with everyone of the college, had done an exceedingly wonderful job, and I would like to introduce the present office bearers and executives of the Alumni Association. I know some of you are not here today, but on being introduced, those of you who are here, you may kindly rise from your seat and show your beautiful face to everyone present here. The present President, Sri Nokcha Sashi, Joint Secretary to the Government of Nagaland, Health and Family Welfare Department. He is not here with us today. The Vice President of the Alumni Association, Sri Rosito Ngori, Additional Deputy Commissioner Kohima. Yeah, please keep on standing, okay? And the General Secretary, Dr. Hinotoli Sema, General Secretary. She is presently the GIS expert under JICA. Okay, we will do the clapping later, okay? I'll just introduce them first, yeah. We will give them, yeah. The Joint Secretary, Engineer Nire Nisa, the Executive Engineer of PHE Department. The Finance Secretary, Sri Nchembe Mohomtsoi, Section Officer, Power Department, Nagaland Civil Secretariat. Treasurer, Ma'am Katasin Liu Remai, Associate Professor, Zoology Department. The three Media and Information Secretaries are K. Puten Hemai, Assistant Director, and SEX. The next one is Sri Viprezo, Guest Faculty under Anthropology Department. And the third one is Smith Nuvahele, Creative Manager of Imagi.Nations. The executive members are Dr. Lily Sema, Retired Director, Higher Education Department. The executive members, 10 of them are there. I'll just call them in a row, okay? Ma'am Sangtinaro, Retired VP, Kohima Science College, Jotoma. Ma'am Tangbeni, Retired VP, Kohima Science College, Jotoma. Ma'am Akunomiase, Secretary to the Government of Nagaland, PNAR Department. Dr. Wenitso Kafo, Associate Professor, Botany Department, Kohima Science College, Jotoma. Ma'am Kevin Nagi, Head of Department, Anthropology Department. Ma'am Avila Roho, Project Director, Lighthouse Education Department. Sri S.Y. Sangli Chang, Regional Transport Officer, Transport Department. Sri Rentango Jangoy, Assistant Registrar, Guwahati High Court, Kohima Bench. Sri Nitho Kutso, Joint Director, Fisheries Department. Okay, we are so glad that all of you could be here in our midst. We don't have anything to give you in return, but then as a way of saying thank you, shall we all give them a thundering applause? Yes. Okay, thank you so much. You may be seated. Sri Imkam Long of Class 12 and currently serving as Assistant Professor under the Department of Anthropology, Kohima Science College, Jotoma, shall now present a special song. This shall be followed by the keynote address by our very own alumnus and current Vice President of the Alumni Association, Sri Rosito Ngori, who is presently serving as the additional DC Kohima. Okay, now I give time to Sri Imkam Long, class of 2012.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, so this is a very special song to all of us And moreover, I would like to dedicate this song to the ones who have contributed so much to the growth of our college. And now the end is near, so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I travel each and every highway and much more than this I didn't find. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and so it's true, without exemption. I plan each other goal, each careful step along the byway, and much more than this I did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I beat all more than I could chew, but through it all, when there was none, I ate it all and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. Of love and pride, I've paid my fee, my share of losing, and now as things subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way. Oh, what is a man, what has he got, if not himself, then he has known to say the things he truly feels, and now the words of one who needs. The record shows I took the blow and did it my way. God bless Colombo Science College.
respected chairperson, distinguished guests, principal and faculty, esteemed alumni members, dear student friends, ladies and gentlemen. I joined this college in the year 1994 and passed out in the year 1999. I left the college in the year 1999, and that's exactly 25 years this year. And that's supposed to be my silver jubilee. It is an honor and privilege for me to stand before you all this morning for the keynote address. This gathering symbolizes the remarkable journey we have embarked upon since our time here as students and the enduring spirit of our shared experiences and achievements. The Alumni Association of Kohima Science College, Jotsoma, is a vibrant network of professionals, advocates, and friends, all united by the shared goal of fostering a legacy of excellence. And we need to remain engaged and proactive in order to mentor the next generation of students, to offer our expertise, and to invest in the future of our alma mater. As we reunite and come together, it is a testament to the strength of our alumni community. Many of us have ventured into diverse fields, overcome challenges, and taken on new roles. Yet, no matter where life has taken us, the values instilled in us at Kohima Science College, Jotsoma will continue to inspire and guide us. Since its formation in the year 2007, the Alumni Association of Kohima Science College, Jotsoma has been making significant contribution to the development and progress of the institution. And in our endeavor to support the current students and contribute to the growth of the institution, the present team of Alumni Association, under the presidency of Shri Nokcha Sashi, in consultation with the executives and the college authority, have come up with focus in other support areas such as the annual alumni lecture series, which got started last year, the care guidance, medical camp, etc. And today we're here to witness the second edition of the annual event, that is the annual alumni lecture series. This event aims to encourage and motivate the present students who are in pursuit of achieving their life goals. Kohima Science College, Jotsoma has equipped us with the courage to take on the challenges ahead, with a passion to venture into the unknown. And we're here this morning to celebrate not just the institution that made us what we are today, but also the community that supported us, the mentors who guided us, and the peers who walked alongside us. A sincere gratitude and appreciation to the principal and his esteemed colleagues and staff, and the student community of Kohima Science College, Jotsoma, for their commitment and unwavering support in all the ventures. Thank you all, and looking forward to many more exciting and enriching activities as we continue to strive together for the success, growth, and development of our institution, our alma mater. God bless us all. Omnia Vincit Labor. Thank you.
The President of Kohima Science College, Jotsoma Alumni Association, Sri Nokcha Sashi, class of 2008, has been working closely for this event. However, due to a sudden family emergency, he has to rush to Chung this morning. Let us all uphold him and his family in our prayers. He was supposed to bring some announcement, but in his place, Dr. Hinotoli Sema, the present General Secretary of Kohima Science College, Jotsoma Alumni Association, shall bring forth the announcements. Time is given to Dr. Hinotoli Sema.
Thank you, Chairperson, for the time. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see all of you again. And I want to welcome, on behalf of the association, all the alumni present here, and as well as our panelists and our guests as well. I have a few announcements. First one is regarding the general body meeting that is going to be held for the first time, and it will be held on 24th of September at 2:30 p.m. at the college campus. Therefore, I request everyone, including the college faculties, alumni, and as well as whoever are here, please pass the message to your batchmate and to your friends that this constitution meeting, this GPM meeting is very important for us to pass certain constitutions as well. So the brief highlight of our GPM meeting will be passing the constitution. We have drafted a new constitution, so for that we need all of your opinions and as well as suggestions, so request everyone to come. Number two is from this year onwards, we want to start collecting the membership as well. And three is, and one of the most important thing, everyone is important, everything is important, but this has been a request from our alumni from outside Nagaland and as well as outside India. So we wanted to have an alumni chapters. So one will be within the national, that is outside Nagaland, and one will be in abroad. So I request every one of you to come for that meeting. It's at, please book your calendar. It's at 24th of September at 2:30 p.m. The next one is, starting from this year, we wanted to have an alumni day. So this will be the second alumni day that will be observed. The one was during the Golden Jubilee. So this year, starting from this year, every first Friday of December will be observed as an alumni day. So on that day, it will be partly sponsored by certain batches and as well as the Alumni Association. We request you to bring your friends and families as well. We will be having a music, sports, and certain activities as well, food of course, and because Nagas cannot go without big feast. So we're going to have different stalls and different fundraising as well. So please keep that in your calendar, book that in your calendar as well. The next one is a very special appreciation, to the batch of 1996 to 1998, 1999 BEC graduation. If anyone is here, can you please raise from your seat? I request you to please stand up. Batch of 96 to 99. Yeah, Sir Rosito is here. Yeah, please give them a round of applause. Yeah, you may be seated. Thank you. Okay, the reason why we are giving them, such a good clap is they sponsored this event. We were searching for funding, and this batch, they voluntarily came forward to sponsor for this event from everything, and also they have donated one almirah. I'm not that tall, it's okay. And as well as one computer table. In the future, we are requesting any of the batch who are here to donate us a computer, a desktop or laptop, and a printer as well, because we have a nice laptop table, computer table, we don't have the main integrity. So special thanks to you all, and please pass on our message to your batchmate as well, who are not present today. The last announcement is regarding the raffle draw. We wanted to have a raffle draw this year in aid of raising funds. As our VP has already announced, we wanted to have we want to give back to this college, and we want to give back to younger generations. So we want to have many other activities, not just the alumni series or alumni day, but we want to have, like last year we have medical camps. So in regard to that, we will be having certain activities, and we also want to have certain physical, constructions as well. So in that regard, we want to have a raffle draw. So it's very exciting. The first prize is Hyundai Exter. I'm just briefing you up, warming you up, so that your account will be like, just you make an adjustment according to that. The second prize is Alto K10. The third prize is Royal Enfield. Excuse me. And we have 5 consolation for 10,000 cash prize. The lottery will be just 3,000 only, and only. And see, if in case you are very good in luck, then you will definitely get that Hyundai, or those guys who are interested in bike, they can get a Royal Enfield. So we will be giving out that to the district representative. Some of them are here, but if you can collect it after this session, you can meet our finance secretary. He has a coupon with him. So please contact him for collecting the coupons as well. And thank you so much, and have a great day.
The well-known Kohima Science College Jotsoma college anthem, Omnia Vincit Labor, it's everyone all-time favorites, particularly when we face challenges and hard times in life. Now, the choristers of Kohima Science College Jotsoma Choir will now bring the college anthem. Kohima Science College Jotsoma Choir, you may kindly come and take the stage. We shall now delve into the first panel discussions titled Cracking Competitive Exams, where we have roped in 3 renowned, accomplished, and outstanding achievers as our panelists. And this panel discussion shall be moderated by Ms. Abhinav Jasmine Ashau. Ms. Abhinav Jasmine Ashau, an alumna of Kohima Science College, Jotsoma, 2008 batch of HSSLC and 2014 batch of NCS, is presently serving as the SDO Civil of Kohima. Something that stands out about her and we admire in her is that she is someone who is not just satisfied with what she has achieved, but she aspires to guide and mentor civil service aspirants in not just clearing the competitive exams, but also in molding personalities whereby they become conscientious citizens. She had mentored and taught NPSC or NSSB aspirant in Shisalan Riju, a free coaching initiative of the DPDB Mogokchung during her previous posting at Mogokchung district. Ms. Abhinav Jasmine Ashau, you may kindly come over and take the time, and I request the students to come and do the presentations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairperson, for the lovely introduction. Respected Principal and Faculty, Kohima Science College, esteemed panelists for today's panel discussion, invitees, alumni, and ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed great honor and privilege for moderating the first panel of the day on cracking competitive exams. We have a panel of 3 very inspiring personalities, each excelling in their own field and motivating many to follow their footsteps. As I take this opportunity to introduce our 3 panelists, may I kindly request you to join me on the dais for the panel discussion. Our first panelist is Shri Shanavas C.I. Shri Shanavas C.I. is an officer of the 2012 batch of the Indian Administrative Service, currently posted as Secretary in the Department of Agriculture, Government of Nagaland. He had served the public in different capacities as Secretary, Industries and Commerce, Urban Development and Municipal Affairs, Deputy Commissioner, Kohima, Phek and Zinhyoboto districts, Principal Director, Education Department, ADC Mon and SDO Civil Zinhyoboto. Among many other initiatives, he has spearheaded and initiated the Nectar project aimed at enhancing quality of education and educational outcomes in collaboration with the World Bank. He is also presently the State Project Director of FOCUS, a project aimed at improving Jum agricultural practices in Nagaland, and Element, a project which deals with integrated settled farming system to generate more income for the farmers. His meritorious public services was duly recognized, and Sir Shanavas C. was awarded the prestigious Governor's Gold Medal in the year 2020. His distinguished public service aside, Sir is often known for his able leadership, his empathy, his accountability, and his approachability. I am a personal testament of these inspiring qualities of Sir, having had the opportunity to work under his able leadership on 2 occasions. Furthermore, quite interestingly, he has completed the challenging Ironman triathlon in 2023, is an excellent badminton player. So if we have great badminton players in the college, you may also challenge him for a match. He is also a health and endurance sports enthusiast. It is a great honor and privilege to have you here on the panel, sir. You may kindly join me on the dais. A small presentation as a token of our appreciation from the Alumni Association. Our second panelist is Sri Chirakung Ziliang, IFS. He is an Indian Forest Service officer of the 2011 batch. He is presently posted as the Regional Passport Officer in Guwahati. He is an alumnus of Kohima Science College, Jotsama, 1997 to 1999 pre-university batch. He was previously posted as the first secretary, political and consular in Islamabad, the second secretary, political and commercial in Tehran, and was temporarily deployed in Philippines, Iraq, and Tajikistan. He holds an international law course certificate from UNITAR Geneva and contemporary diplomacy course from the Clindengill Academy, The Hague, Netherlands. He also had the experience of working as a consultant in PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the big 4 accounting firms in the world, before joining the IFS. He is an engineer in computer science by qualification and also possesses an MBA from the prestigious IIM Kozhikode. Under his able leadership, the Regional Passport Office Guwahati was awarded the Passport Seva Puraskar 2024, a recognition of the efficacy of the passport offices from amongst 37 regional passport offices across the country. Thank you, sir, for joining the panel. May you kindly join me on the dais. A small token of our appreciation, sir. Last but not the least, our third panelist for the first panel discussion is Sri Sashi Wanglanu, IRS. Sri Sashi Wanglanu, IRS is a 2009 batch of the Indian Revenue Service, Custom and Indirect Taxes. He is presently posted as the Additional Commissioner, Central GST Commissionerate, Dimapur. He is also a member of the Nagaland Government's Economic and Development Committee. He has rendered most of his service outside the state in various customs and indirect tax offices, including Kolkata Airport and Port Blair. He is happily married, I'm told, and blessed with 2 sons, aged 3 and 5. He likes playing guitar in his free time. Sri Sashi Wanglanu IRS is an alumnus of the prestigious Mount Hermon School, Darjeeling, and is an engineer in electronics and communications from the PES Institute of Technology, Bangalore. He has also worked as a lecturer in ICIT Mongchong before joining the Indian Revenue Services. Thank you, sir, for joining our panel. And may I request you to kindly join me on the dais. Here is a small token from the Alumni Association in appreciation of your presence here. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we have our 3 very distinguished panelists for the first panel discussion on cracking competitive exam. The panel discussion shall be initiated by a presentation from each of the 3 panelists, after which they shall take questions from the audience, and for which I request everyone to either be ready with your questions or write it down for reference later in case you forget. As a proud alumna of this institution, it is also my ardent prayer that one day our present students will be seated here as one of our panelists. So I hope and pray that you will also be in a position where you can inspire the younger generation someday. So I now take this opportunity to invite our first panelist, Sri Shanavas C.I, to kindly initiate the presentation from his end. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you, moderator, for the first panel, Ms. Abhinyu, the principal and the staff from Kohima Science College, the students, office bearers of the Alumni Association, and ladies and gentlemen, dear students, very good morning all of you. I think this is my second time in your college, if I am not wrong. I had come here before, maybe I think one and a half years back, when I was the DC of Kohima district. I had a chance to interact with you all. Regarding this first panel discussion, the topic, cracking competitive examinations. So I also welcome and I'm happy to share this panel with the distinguished officers on the dais, Chirakung and Sashi Wanglanu. When you think about this topic, cracking competitive examination, this very wide-going topic for many years, but whether you actually want to crack the competitive examination, whether you actually want to get into the government sector, it is totally up to you. I'm sure none of us, the panelists, will be just forcing our ideas to you. The whole purpose of having this discussion and this topic is giving you an exposure. What are the challenges and opportunities awaiting here? So the brief time, maybe another 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes max. I'll be just addressing you. Abhinay, what is the time we have? What is the time we have? 15 minutes, okay, thank you. So I'll be just, initial part of my presentation will be just sharing my journey with you so that you also understand how I came to what I am today. Then how to crack this competitive examination, civil service examinations and everything. Then since I am in Indian Administrative Service, what are the opportunities and challenges awaiting you in this service? I come from a state called Kerala. I'm sure even if you haven't visited Kerala, many of you must be aware where Kerala lies in. It is in the southernmost part of the country. And we are sitting in the easternmost part of the country. And in one sentence, that is the beauty of this service. Coming from that far and you're working here and you are still able to motivate the younger generation and the upcoming generation. So I consider this as my great honor and privilege. I was born to a middle class family. My parents were primary school teachers. They just retired some 4 or 5 years back only. So in my childhood, I never had the dream of becoming a civil servant or an IAS officer. So to be very frank, so if any of you are thinking in your mind that these premium services are only for those who come from very elite background or those who have an exposure, those who have a lot of money, just take it out of your head and throw it in the dustbin. It's not like that. Even in your age, during my class 12 and even my graduation time, I was not sure of coming into the civil service. Because we keep seeing in the newspapers, the collector, the DC, Deputy Commissioner in Kerala is called the District Collector. The collector has inaugurated this program, the collector has spoken in this program. So we just keep fascinating, but it never crossed my mind that I can become one of them, maybe further years down the line. So just kept on going with the flow. I finished my class 12 with maths as a subject. I had a good rank in engineering entrance examination. So everyone advised me to go for an engineering. I went for an engineering, and In fact, during my final year of engineering, at that time the global recession was stuck in the global world. In the 2008-9 and 2010 I finished my engineering. So that particular time I thought, I don't want to just sit in front of a computer and work throughout my life, and I am not interested in that. Maybe some people are very keen on doing that, but honestly I was not interested in doing that. So what next? What other options do I have? Then one or two of my friends were preparing for the examination. Then I also thought that I will give it a try, and I was not sure. I was not sure that I will crack the examination. Give it a try. Then I told my parents, of course I am completing my engineering, but I will need one more year of financial support from you, because I got placed in a company called IBM, the International Business Machine in Bangalore, but I decided not to join. So there are some calculated risks you have to take in your life, you know. So you should never hesitate from doing that, be whatever field it is. So I decided not to join. Instead, take financial support from my parents for one more year, because I have to stay in a hostel, I have to eat food, and I joined in a coaching in Kerala only, that is a state civil service academy. So Kerala used to have that civil service academy, even till date they are running that institution, sponsored by the government. So it's very cheap. You don't have to pay huge fees for the coaching and everything. It was just 10,000 rupees that time. So if you clear, after that, if you clear the main examination, then your interview coaching is free, then your up and down travel to Delhi for the interview is free, then you have accommodation in Kerala house is taken care. So government support in that way. So I just started. So initial part was really tough. Initial part was really tough. That time the Facebook had just set in place. The Instagram was still not around. So Facebook was still around 2010-11. So you can see your friends already joined in some jobs. They are uploading some pictures, having parties, and they started earning money. But you in a hostel room, you're stuck there. I'm sure many of you, the alumni people who are sitting here, must have gone through the same kind of a mental struggle. So you also think to yourself whether what I'm doing is right or wrong. Like, am I doing something really wrong? Am I taking such a big risk? So, of course, you have to fight that battle. You have to fight that battle and just focus on something and just go and get it. So that was the attitude. So this is just my story till now, but I'll tell you now, what do you need to crack this kind of competitive examinations? What metal you need inside? Be it me or be it Chirakung or Sashi or anyone, what are the things you need inside you? The first thing is that willingness to step into something unknown, right? If you are swimming in an ocean, or if you're climbing some mountain, you're actually stepping into something unknown. You don't know how depth the ocean is. You're not able to see. The same way, you don't see the result. You don't foresee the result, what is going to happen with you. But if you just keep thinking about that what will happen if I don't clear? What will happen if I don't clear? That fear should not set into you. So that courage and the ability to take that risk to step into something really unknown. Your competitive examinations will start, even some entrance examinations here, or some other competitive examinations, be it NPSC or UPSC or anything. One major quality you need, of course, you need dedication, hard work, but I will say time management. Time management is going to be really important. Because when you prepare for an examination, you have a schedule, you have a syllabus in front of you, right? And when you stick to that syllabus, you have to break that 1 year of preparation into 12 months of preparation, then 54 weeks of preparation. You break down into weekly, monthly, weekly and daily targets. That has to be set in. The targets should be there and you should be able to fulfill the target. The small droplets only make the ocean. The ocean is not made in one day, right? So it's made of small droplets, in the way that your daily preparations and meeting the targets will be able to, you'll be able to crack the examination at the end of maybe 1 year or 2 years of preparation. So that is really important. And even when you're stepping into a competitive examination, Just for imagine that you are going to write a multiple choice examination of 2 hours and you have 120 question each, 120 questions. So you have 1 minute for one question, right? I've seen many people doing that. They are stuck with some question, then they spend a lot of time there, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just wasting there. Then finally you start panicking because by the time the 2 hours is getting over and you have still 30, 40 questions left. So what is lacking in here? What is lacking in here is no planning. You didn't plan properly. So the planning is important even in the preparations. And no human being can focus and concentrate on a single topic for just say more than 20 minutes or half an hour. It's not possible. But still, if you find something really boring, if you're reading something really boring, and if you are not, you're not getting anything, you're not grasping anything, but you're still in front of your book, be it for your board examination preparation also. You're still in front of your book, just turning pages here and there, but nothing is going here. So you're wasting your time. Don't do that. Maybe take a short break or go for something interesting, some other topic, and come back to it later and plan accordingly. So this planning you can do with the help of your mentors, guides, teachers, and even your friends, your peers. If you are, suppose some of you want to crack the UPSC examinations, you will have a peer group, the like-minded people who are into the same field. Sit together, maybe during one of your breaks, sit together and discuss what do we have to do, get some information. Use internet to the right, for the right purpose, not only for your social media, but use internet for the right purpose. Get information, gather information, share information. Don't be very selfish in your preparation. Don't be very selfish in your preparation. At the same time, take care of yourself as a human being. You might have heard people saying to you that you have to study 14 hours, 16 hours a day to crack UPSC examination. You'll go mad. Don't do that. You'll really go mad. So I used to balance my day. Morning you get up, you go for a walk, you read something. Then every evening you play. If you're interested in playing or any hobbies, give some time for that also. Then once in a week I used to go and watch a movie. So take care of you. If you can only put your effort in and study if you have a healthy mind and a healthy body. That you have to be very, very careful. And social interactions are also equally important. And of course, approach the right, maybe coaching institutes or books. So those things will come later. But you prepare accordingly. Even after doing all this, just imagine, even after doing all this preparation, you might fail. There are people who have put in 6 attempts, 7 attempts, 8 attempts in the UPSC examination. You might fail. So what will you do? You can't go just disheartened, disappointed, totally dejected. You are not finding any interest in your life. Nothing is happening. No. You should embrace the failure. You should what? Embrace the failure. You should actually take it with a positive spirit. The failure will teach you a lot of things. The success will not be able to teach you. And just make sure that you have put in your 100%. After that, if you fail, it's okay. You come back stronger. But without putting any effort, if you fail and you just blame it on your luck or bad luck, that's not going to work. You should do your part, right? You should actually embrace the failure and fight hard. There are people who have not even cleared prelims in 4 or 5 attempts. In the 6th attempt, they go and crack the examination till the interview stage. So never ever doubt yourself. Never ever think that you are second to anyone or it's not in your cup of tea, you can't do that. If you badly want something, from the bottom of your heart, the whole universe will conspire for you to achieve that. But if you don't want something from your heart and you're doing it out of pressure, be it any examination or any field, you'll have 1,000 excuses not to fight for that. Just imagine someone not waking up and going for a run, but he cannot say that I'm preparing for Olympics, right? He's not putting it, it's not from that person's bottom of the heart. So that's not going to happen. So be very clear about your objective. Even if you are not clear right now, it's fine. You still have time, but you discuss with your friends, mentors, guides, and teachers. then find out what you actually want to have. You know why I'm stressing on this point, because if at the end of the day you are just settling on something in which you're not finding happiness, that is the worst part. So whatever job you're doing, be it big or small or anything, government or non-government, you should be happy about what you're doing. That is the end statement. And after clearing the examination, I thought to myself that that was the most difficult part. Now everything will go smooth. But then you will understand that the clearing the examination is the easiest part. But sustaining in the civil service is the most difficult part. I'm sure the colleagues in the government sector will agree to me. It's not easy. You have a lot of challenges. Of course, you have a lot of opportunities and you are visible, and you may have some powers and privileges also. I'm not denying that. There are a lot of opportunities. You can work in the state, you can work in the government of India, you can even work abroad in some organizations. So opportunities are just there that you will get to know when you go into the service. The challenging part, you may have a lot of morale, you may have a lot of things to do in your mind, but maybe the system is not supporting you. If everything was going so smooth in Nagaland, will you find this kind of roads or this kind of poor infrastructure in Nagaland? No. So things are not going very smooth. So I'm not here to just praise the government and just to project you that everything is going very smoothly. It's not. But just don't blame only the government or only certain people for that. It's our collective responsibility. The moment we are stepping in out of this hall and spit pan or put some garbage on the road, we are also responsible for not developing our state, right? So in the same way, it's a responsibility of each and every individual that we have to come together and bring the state forward or bring the country forward. So that challenges is there. It has, honestly, I have faced it a lot of times also. And many a time you think, is it the right decision? Am I in the right place? That I have a lot of idea, a lot of things to do, but system is not supporting me that much. But I'll tell you that these are the things you should just go to the balcony, or balcony means that literature balcony, and reflect or introspect that okay, there are challenges that to solve that challenges only we are here. So we have to find a middle ground and go towards development. So these challenges, along with opportunities, these are just like two sides of a coin. So these are there, but we have to fight it. I'll just end in 1-2 minutes. I think I'm crossing time. So again, if you clear the service, just one thing you remember that should never go into your head. I have seen many officers doing that, going into the head and thinking that they are super privileged, they are beyond everything. Always stay humble and rooted. Years back, you have a family, you are from a very humble background, maybe middle class background. You have a lot of teachers, mentors who have supported you throughout your journey. But you fought hard, you worked hard, you cleared some examination, you are into some premium service. So now I am immortal. Don't think like that. Always stay humble and rooted. And at the end of the day, we are what? We are public servants. We are servants. We are not public bosses. We are just servants, civil servants. We are servants of civil society. So these are the 3 stages of just putting your right dream into your head, fight for it, proper the right approach and strategy to fulfill your dream. But once the dream comes to reality, then leave that dream, leave that reality like the country or the state want us to live. So with this, I just end my presentation, and I think later, after all the presentations are done, we'll have some questions. So thank you very much for patiently listening to me. Thank you. Good day.
The perks of being tall way above the microphone. Yeah, so thank you so much, sir, for those insightful strategies, thought-provoking challenges, and to the qualities that you have shared with the students. As we have mentioned earlier, Sir will be kind enough to take questions after the other two panelists have after the other two panelists make their presentation. Now I take this opportunity to call on stage Shri Jirakung Ziliang, IFS, to kindly come and make his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Moderator Abhinyo, for this time. At the outset, I thank the Principal, Vice Principal, and faculty of this college, and of course the President and the colleagues of the Alumni Committee for reaching out and inviting me. As an alumni myself, it is a privilege for me to be here, and also my duty, I believe, to come and share the ideas from time to time to just, one is of course to inspire, and one is also of course to also learn from the younger generation. So I thank the college in general for this opportunity, and I'm glad to have a distinguished panel of achievers that has already been highlighted before. So today I've been asked to speak on, of course, the broader theme of cracking competitive exams, and of course to speak a little bit on the challenges and opportunities of the service I am in. So of course our Shanavas has already expounded very nicely and very clearly on how you should go about it. I will also speak a little bit, but not too much, because it's almost similar. But the experiences of each and every candidate or the official is different, so I would dwell a little bit also on my background. One thing that when I was preparing for these exams was I used to really like reading the story of the toppers. I really used to, you know, we had this Civil Service Chronicle and Competition Success Review. So that was the first topic. The reason being that some of the strategies were almost same, but the stories are always unique, and it always inspires me whenever I get bored. So I'll just dwell a little bit. Hopefully I should not take too much time, and I'll dwell a little bit on the service that I'm currently in. And of course, before I start off with this point that now, as the regional passport officer in Guwahati, I keep getting invites to speak, and of course as a special guest, and I do keep participating in those events, and it has come to my consciousness that as I look back on my achievements, also, you know, I'm thankful to God, because I'll come to that, because a whole year's worth of your time and effort investment will come to no avail if on that prelims day, you know, that one day, the whole year you have been, if something happens to you or to your family, then you know, your whole year's worth of investment goes in vain. So we need to have that broader picture also, and not only just focus on our own man efforts. That is what I believe. So I did my science from Kohima Science College, pre-university, 99 batch I should say, 97, 99. And I must say to those friends who are here that that time I was pretty young, I should say, so I was not that focused already that I would be joining civil services. I just want to clear the exams and achieve as much as possible, but I saw my career path, as I go in brief and as has been expounded very nicely by the moderator, my career path has taken here and there. I have touched all aspects of the career, be it from engineering, management, corporate life also I've experienced, then civil services. So all those aspects I've learned, and it has made me the individual that I am today. But some of you already may have a very fixed dream to join the UP civil services. So kudos to those. But to those who are still confused, what should I do? I don't know. So just you can think that I was also among those, I should say, that PU time or maybe even BSc. I wasn't very sure that, of course, as Nagas, we all know, NPSC and UPSC is a rite of passage, but that is as it is. So that is how I came about doing my engineering. Then I did my management. I was in corporate sector, but then as I slowly grew matured in my thinking and in my experience, I also came to realize that yes, civil service. Of course, one was the sense that I should also crack this civil service. That was as a personal motivation that I keep having to crack different exams. But the bigger perspective was that yes, civil service does give a platform to make a change in society, and as here domestically, the administrators to play a role, and even in my role as the regional passport officer, I have seen it with my own eyes how our promptness in my office can help somebody whose child has met an accident abroad, how we can expedite the issuance of passport so that they can travel, or some job interview whose firm has asked for a passport within a few days, how that service can make a life-altering decision, life-altering course in their life. So yes, civil services does make a change. Now in Nagaland there is still there is that counter movement that civil service officers or government employees are over-glorified. But actually I have a counterpoint to that. Rather, in fact, I would keep encouraging the younger friends that in the bigger scheme of things, in the national scheme of things, our representation in government service is still very limited. So our representation in not only in UPSC or All India services, but there are so many central government offices which needs to be manned. So there are ample opportunities. That's what I want to say. It's not like the ground is oversaturated. Maybe NPSC, yes, but you can, for those who want to serve in the government service. So, so that is how I came out. Coming to the preparation, I took a bit of a momentous decision when I was a consultant with the PricewaterhouseCoopers. That time I found that as a consultant, it was becoming very difficult, because consultancy, whole day you are meeting your clients, and in the evening you do a lot of data analysis. So, and it's a top tier consulting firm, so we interact with all the so-called the top bosses, be it in the government or in the corporate. So we have to be really prepared. So, but since I had decided to give the civil services, I took a momentous decision to resign from my job, which is, I would say, a bit risky. The pressure was there whole year. Sometimes you get flashbacks. So that is again a pressure management which all of you should prepare yourself, that UPSC is a very time consuming exam. You have to be prepared for the whole year. So you can say it's a pressure intensive exam. So be prepared for that. That is one thing. On the actual strategy, as Shanavas has already brought out, I won't expound much on that. And that is how I went about. I prepared primarily on my self-study. That is also again one thing that I want to tell all of you. Identify your strengths. Some people prefer studying alone, like myself. Some people prefer taking coaching institutes, so there are different individuals who are in the services. So you don't have to follow the flock. Just try to slowly get to know yourself first. That is very important, and so that you can cater to your strengths. It's not like only if you join this particular institute you will clear. No, you can clear by studying yourself, and that is how I have also been able to do it, because I prefer studying alone, revising stuff. So that is also one quick thing that I want to tell the younger friends present here. And of course, one is regular testing. Sometimes we prefer not to know our failings. So that I also came to know in midway in my preparation. I used to little bit avoid taking tests, mock tests. But revision and taking mock tests is very important. Know your weaknesses. There's no harm. If you're scared to give in the exams, in the mock test of your institute. Just there are many mock tests. Sit in your room, maintain the timing, and just check the answers. Gradually, you will come to know where you are weak. That is how you can improve your strengths. That is how I would say, since there are lots to talk about, I would summarize from that aspect, from shifting from corporate to the civil services. Now coming to, and if there are any queries that I might have missed out, there's a Q&A session. So coming quickly back to the service, this foreign service where I serve it's externally oriented. As diplomats, our service is not inward, it's outward. So as an IFS officer, primarily I represent India, and my core objective is to protect India's interest. But in the process of doing it, now because of the information dissemination, globalization, many of you also may be aware now, like maybe 10-15 years, many people may not be aware of the role and services of our Ministry of External Affairs, because it is more external oriented. But now, in this new age and time, it has implications for which I will quickly tell you. That is where it comes in the opportunities. One is of course the personal thing, but as a service, as a diplomatic career. So discussion in the tariffs for those people who are in the entrepreneurs, a discussion with the global multilateral fora or a bilateral negotiation with a country, it will have a direct impact on you, on the tariff negotiations. Tariff negotiations, I mean the taxes, import-export taxes. That's why for those entrepreneurs or for those who are in the business sector, if you want to import some high quality equipment, let's say in the medical field, some equipments are very, very expensive. And if those equipments are expensive, then you as a patient, as a heart patient, as a kidney patient, you will be paying high medical fees. So if the bilateral negotiations are done between two countries, between a very specialized country, let's say Germany, if the import tariffs are reduced bilaterally, then it has a cascading effect. Then the price of that medicine, let's say maybe even a cancer treatment medicine or medical equipment, gets reduced. Thereby the cascading effect is that the cost of medical treatment gets reduced, and you and I as the end user, we pay lower medical cost. So as diplomats, that is where we are at the high stakes table, negotiation table, discussing, and it is not a theory. I've been part of some MOU discussions, we call it Memorandum of Understanding in business delegations discussions. I've been part of it. We have done para by para, word by word discussions, which is just a document. It could be a 3 or 4 pager document with some annexures, but it has far-reaching implications for the society as a whole. So that is one aspect. Another is, of course, the diaspora. If you go abroad, as a tourist, you go abroad to maybe Paris, London, suddenly you get, let's say, you get attacked or you lose your passport. The first person that you would run to is the Indian embassy in wherever. So those are the services we give to our diaspora. We have, as has been expounded by our alumni in charges, that we have alumni in foreign countries. So they will continue to remain in touch with the roots, continue to remain in Nagaland. So the Indian embassy are the main areas where they can be in touch, so that their relatives for visiting, passports and all. So those are the practical areas where as diplomats we serve. And in the challenges, yes, there are some challenges. If the geopolitical relations change, like for instance, I was posted in Islamabad, Pakistan, and that was when this decision was taken, Article 370. I was there physically. So immediately the strength of the office got reduced. So, like some have to come back. So you have to quickly be ready to dislocate yourself. Or if the relation between India and some country goes bad, the diplomats are the first persons to be removed. So those are the challenges. And of course the frequent relocations. So those are some of the challenges of the service. The perks of the service, there are many. In the terms of, I've already told about the Government of India, of course, takes very good care of the diplomats, but in the professional scheme, we keep getting to learn. I've been able to take some courses in the midst of the service in very well-known and reputed institutes. So those are the opportunities we get. Time is short to be expounding too many, but for those who have less knowledge about this, our service, the Indian Foreign Service, I hope that with this short expounding of the practical implications of what as a service, administration, I don't have to, this thing, you keep seeing it every day, but the outside, how it can have a direct impact on your life, I hope that I've been able to expound in this very few time given to me. So with these words, I end my time. If any clarifications, maybe we could take it up in Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your exposition on the rich and motivating experience of your service. And for those of you who aspires to work outside, as sir has mentioned, you may ask your questions later during the Q&A session. Now we have the third panelist for our panel discussion, Shri Sashi Wanglanu, IRS. Sir, you may kindly take the stage.
Check that. My father, my sister, and my brother, they are alumni of this institute. And last evening, while coming up from Dimapur and having a conversation with my father, he was recalling how in the 70s, as a student of Kohima Science College and as a village boy, he would do odd things which only village boys can, such as cut wood in the principal's house, gather some mushroom and wild ferns and give it to his favorite lecturers, you know. And it's such a blessing, it's such an honor that being his son, I have this privilege today. So distinguished panelists, principal and staff of Kohima Science College, the Alumni Association, thank you so much for this privilege. I decided to write the civil service exams quite late, as Shanavas was explaining. For many of us, even those who have successfully gotten through, it may have happened at the end of college also. For me, I was 24 years, I finished my engineering, I was working in Mokokchung as a lecturer in institute, and that's when I decided that I'm going to write. So 24 years. So some people think that you have to have everything sorted out, you know, from class 12 itself, what is the right book to read, etc., etc. You can do small things on the side, but it's never too late. And you should be thankful to your alumni association that something like this is happening, where even when you're still in college, you know, you're being shown the various things. Even the session after this, the entrepreneurship session, these are things which will open your eyes up to the various opportunities that are there ahead of you. And therefore, being the third speaker, I have the unenviable thing to try and look at what they've already said and not repeat. So I'll try and talk generally about competitive exams scene and then talk a little bit about IRS and the opportunities and things that I've faced so far. I've done almost 15 years in service now, 2009, 14, yeah, almost 15 years. And just I think 3 months back, I read this article in one of the local papers talking about the number of opportunities which the Nagaland government is able to give to people looking for jobs in Nagaland. Okay, and the numbers were quite scary because be it through NPSC, NSSB, all these kind of exams, it seems there are 70,000 unemployed youth in Nagaland, graduates, postgraduates, PhD, etc., all people looking for jobs. And yet the state government, through NPSC, NSSB, all this, is able to give only 700 jobs per year. 700 for 70,000 people. And you, my dear students, you'll be adding to that number when you graduate from here, right? So those who want to get into competitive exams, you should know these kind of realities also.
You know, my father's time in the 70s when he graduated, that was a time when there were not enough Nagas to fill up so many positions. So as long as you graduated, you got a degree and you came, you had a government job ready for you. That's not the case. 2 generations later, 70,000 people writing for 700 jobs, right? So which also means that those who want to get into these kind of exams, you should know that, understand the exam and understand that after having studied this syllabus, what are the different kind of exams I can write? Beyond just NPSC also, UPSC, beyond just UPSC also. Some of my colleagues have talked about the other central service departments. And I'll tell you that, especially being in the central service, there are so many offices that have opened up slowly over the years in Dimapur, Kohima, of all these central government offices which we are not aware of. So therefore, there are more opportunities now beyond that. So as a student who wants to get into it, look at the numbers, be scared that you have to be really good to crack the exams. At the same time, look for opportunities so that you cast your net in a wide area so that the success could be more possible for you, right? Like most Nagas, I would say that I'm an accidental taxman, okay? Why? Because when we wrote the exams, we have an idea what an IAS does. We've seen what the DC is doing. We see what an SP does. But rest of the Group A services, it's like a vague thing. You know, even our parents say, allied service ti paishe. There are 25 different other services, but we have no idea. So therefore, just like most other Nagas who are in the IRS, I got in and had more idea about the IRS only after joining, right? And yet, the revenue service has its own share of importance in the scheme of things. I can tell you that 2 of my colleagues, who is in the administration, who is in the external service, or someone in the police also, they get to do what they can because the government has money in its pocket. It is the tax administration people who are collecting revenue so that the money can be spent by these different agencies of the government. Therefore, though Nagas, we mostly have this attitude that, Nagangando tax nide, right? We live in that bubble that Nagas don't pay tax. It's true, partially. We don't pay income tax. But rest of us, in fact, right now, you know, if you've gone to a restaurant, let's say you went to KFC and had a meal, you've paid tax there, you've paid GST. You've recharged your phone for internet today, you've paid GST there. You've eaten a packet of Korean noodles or bought something from foreign, you've paid customs duty there. So, though taxation, we think of it in a very, that Nagas, we are not touched by taxation, but if you look at it, it's only income tax that we don't know. Rest of the taxes, indirect taxes, of which I am a part of, we face it every day, right? And especially in Nagaland, if you are going into entrepreneurship also, indirect taxes is something you have to be aware of. GST is something which you have to be aware of. Therefore, the importance of revenue services also comes into the picture. For every rupee that is that the government has in its pocket, 65 paisa comes through taxes. So you can imagine the importance of these revenue services. 35 paisa is through borrowing from various external agencies, etc. But 65%. So therefore, the opportunity to work in a revenue service is also up after the administrative service, police service, etc. It is normally the next top choice among people who write for these exams. When we talk about ignorance of taxation, I'd just like to, though it's not related to our career guidance point, but do you know that our state, Nagaland, we contribute only 10% of our own budget, whereas 90% is coming from Delhi, right? Nagaland, our own budget, our own needs, only 10% is being generated in Nagaland, and 90%, many times with a begging bowl perhaps, we go to the center and ask, right? Therefore, if you have that kind of thinking that, Indians, plain manuhan, Tsimar, Kholami, etc., etc., it's perhaps some honest Tsimar there, some honest Kholami there in Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, wherever, who has honestly paid his taxes. That you and me here in Nagaland, we get to enjoy. Therefore, as a taxman, for me, I take this perspective along with many other issues also, that the government also needs to look at ways in which at least more than 10% we should try to increase what we bring to the table as well. The IRS is a specialized service, no doubt, because most of the work we do is mostly to do with taxation, revenue collection, the economic aspect of it, right? I have worked earlier in Calcutta. I've worked at the Calcutta airport in customs. It's a very different kind of experience there. Any foreign passenger going out or coming back into India, you are the first person. We call ourselves the guardians of the economic frontiers, because as much as passenger facilitation is important, we are also there to look out for what items should not be bought into India, what are not allowed to be bought into India without paying some taxes, or some things which are totally prohibited. So while writing the civil service exams, IAS and IFS were my first two choices. Though by rank I was getting IPS, I never had any interest. I thought that I didn't have the temperament to work as a police officer. Therefore, this service, IRS, is my third option. However, in the IRS, I got a chance to do a lot of chore police kind of work also, working in customs where we ran after smugglers, you know. When I used to tell these stories, my parents used to be shocked. In Calcutta, I worked for 3 years in an agency called the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, DRI. Sometimes you may have seen in the newspapers that DRI catches this many kgs of ganja, narcotic substances, gold, all these kind of items. So very filmy style kind of things happen in the streets of Calcutta sometimes, you know, because of the fact that we work on specific intelligence which is developed. Therefore, somebody in a traffic crossing, we go, just 3-4 of us, we go, somebody takes the keys, you know, that person is taken to the back seat. We sat in the car, the traffic policeman is confused, what's happening, you know, like some people cause chaos for 2 minutes, but after that, that person is in our office and we catch 10 kilos of gold in his car. Stuff like that, you know. So somehow I also found myself working for that kind of an organization just for 3 years, but that has been enriching in my career so far. I've also had the opportunity to be a part of economic policy making. Nagaland government under Department of Commerce and Industries and IDAN formed a small group called the Economic Development Committee of Nagaland with some IAS officers, others from separate fields, but me having the expertise of revenue, taxation, I was also made a part of that committee. So even in economic policy, you do have opportunities. I'll talk a little bit about the nature of service and how I've worked so far. One thing about the IRS is the nature of postings is mostly urban. Why? Taxation collection happens mostly in big cities. So unlike the administration and police, I have not faced the difficulties of a rural posting. I have been placed in big cities, big towns where infrastructure, medical help, education, things are all taken for granted. So this is one of the, not just the IRS, but I think most of the other central services, this is one of the perks. If you are of that bent of mind that you want to stay in urban places. Another important thing, and this is specifically to me because of my personality and my temperance, there's very low political interference is the bad word, but you know what I mean, right? Political dealings, right? Because when it comes to revenue collection, I don't deal with my local MLA, I don't deal with ministers so much. So I'm left at peace to do my work, right? So I think this provides a stable, predictable kind of work environment. I can claim to have a good work-life balance. Because of the nature of my job, having less number of emergencies, unlike the administration or police, anytime 24/7, some emergency could come which will really shake you and you have to be there at present. So as an IRS officer, at 6 o'clock I can switch off that engine, go and play my guitar at home, spend time with my kids, have a relaxing weekend, do the hobbies that I wish to do, right? So that balance is there in most of these other central services as well. When it comes to transfer postings also, I can tell you that unlike, again, the administrative and police, etc., the number of frequent transfers, there's more stability, there's more predictability. Therefore, I stay in places for a reasonably longer period. So see, these things may not make so much sense for a person who is writing the exam now, but these are the insights that I can give you of the service. And believe me, once you get married, you have children, these things become very important factors as well. Because it's not just you, but your family, the happiness of your wife, your kids, which come into the picture. I wrote the exam more than 15 years back, so specific things about the exam I may not be able to tell, but just one, two things. One mistake which we make while writing the exams is, especially in the first year of preparation, we look at which is the best coaching institute, which is the best book, which is the best, right? So, and we end up collecting a lot of books and material. So it's better not to get into the trap. Normally there'll be a set of coaching institutes which are considered good, 3, 4 of them, or a few authors which are considered the standards. It's better to buy one of them, read the same book 3 times, revise 3 times the same book, rather than collecting 4 different materials and getting more confused. So I think this kind of practice where you are confused by collecting non-stop material should be avoided while preparing the exam. Even for coaching institutes, people ask, is it compulsory to go to Delhi or to go to a big city to prepare? I don't think so. Now, in this day and age, study material is available from everywhere. And I'll give you an example. Last year in the exam, a boy from Tuinsang, born and brought up Tuinsang, studied in Tuinsang, he cracked the UPSC exam. If he can do it from there, you sitting here in Kohima, you have no excuse. The importance of reaching out to seniors for mentorship, this is important. For me, I had 2 people who I used to really look up to and take guidance from. Madam Imkongla Jamir, she's an IAS posted in Karnataka, and Sir Asangba Chuba, who was a senior in school, he's in Bihar. So time to time I used to reach out to them. Of course, I first read their interviews in some newspaper and then I contacted them. So it's good to look at some Nagas who have gone ahead of you to get at least some insights from a Naga perspective. And that's what we've also tried to do. In the last 2 years, I've taken an initiative where Nagas who reach the UPSC interview level, we've just formed a group of like-minded Naga officers and we give them some interview guidance. So the last 2 batches, they've been very successful. Of course, they took professional coaching, etc., all that, but just we step in with some insights from a Naga senior, from the perspective of a Naga senior who's already in service, and they have said that that has helped them a lot in balancing some of their views. So that's how we've given back as well. So just to conclude, be aware of how difficult the exams are these days, how competitive it's become. Secondly, if you are going to write it, then be aware of the many other exams that are possible to write after having studied the same thing. And I hope to hear a lot more questions from all of you during the Q&A. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir, for presenting a perspective on the opportunities, challenges of your services, and the significance of taxes, and also your valuable insights. Now our esteemed panelists will take questions from the audience. So if anybody has any questions. Okay, yeah. So if you have written down your questions, then you may also pass it on. We have a number of questions from the students. So the first question is, are coaching helpful? Best coaching institutions you would suggest for competitive exams? So I think it was written before Sir Sashi Wapang's presentation, but if any of our panelists would like to take these questions. Are coaching institutes helpful?
I think Sashi Wabang has already cleared that question, but still, just to add, see, it's again person specific. If you're actually looking for some mentorship and guidance, coaching definitely helps, but a good coaching center. So nowadays, you can find a lot of people opening coaching institutes here and there and just trying to attract people, no? So there will be a lot of people in the business mindset also. So just don't fall into that trap. As he said, there will be some selected coaching institutes which are like throughout the years they are doing a good job and mentoring people. So you can go for that. At the same time, personally, I won't recommend a very expensive coaching center. Giving more money doesn't mean that you will clear the examination. So just be aware of that. So otherwise, some good coaching institutions definitely help. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for the answer. The next question is quite specific. Sir, can you suggest me some good coaching centers for UPSC? So I think, yeah.
Actually, we are outdated because we've written the exams 10, 15 years back. Jerakung didn't take coaching. Nah? So for me, why I took coaching, I'll tell you, I did an engineering background and I took up new subjects which were not engineering related. So I thought coaching would be helpful, one. Secondly, what Shanavas said also, your human mind, you can't concentrate for that long on a topic. So for a tribal mind, to sit and study for like 8 hours, I thought not possible. So coaching gave me that thing, a structure every day. I would go to class, and I would see my competition. I would listen to guys speak and then see, oh goodness, I don't even know what they're talking about. Come back scared, study some more, you know. So coaching provided some sort of structure for me also. Every day for those 6 months that I have some discipline going and coming. So that way it worked for me. And it's very specific to candidates, but the main question regarding whether there's a best coaching institute, that there is no best coaching institute, but there'll be a couple which are good enough. Choose any one of them.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is, would you rather choose your loved ones or your career or job? I, for one, I know what one or two of them would answer. So I think we can hear the perspective of each of our panelists. The question is, would you rather choose your loved ones or your career or job?
Yeah, as the moderator has pointed out, I think we need to take the inputs of 3 of us just to get a uniform approach. From my side, obviously the consensus would be that yes, we can do both, and yes, we can do both. My spouse is also in the civil service. It is, yes, challenging, no doubt. We get posted in different locations. So those challenges are there, but if the heart is strong, then the career can take a little backseat, I guess.
I think Jerakung is a proper diplomat. So, just to answer that question, see, the question is whether work or life, in a very simple way, but I prefer, see, if there is a conflict arising of your career or your life, then I'll choose life. Why? Because the career should not be a spoiler to your life. Just imagine, you're coming home in the evening, or totally frustrated from your job, you're not talking to your wife, you're not talking to your kids, you're throwing your back here and there. So you are actually transferring that negative energy even to your family and loved ones, which is not fair. I think they don't deserve that. So the best thing, as he said, to carry both, and if there are any challenges in your career, take it in a positive spirit and just don't transfer that negative energy, if there is any, to your post-work life in the evenings. So that is the best option. So I will try to do that to my 100%, but if I'm not able to do that particular day, I will choose my life. Thank you.
Just like Jerakung, my wife is also working, so especially the initial few years when I was posted in Calcutta and she was posted here, we used to meet once a month, so obviously we were in our best behavior, right? So now only after getting a chance to come to Dimapur, we've been able to meet at least during weekends. So it takes a lot of, you need to work it out, but I think there is space enough to do both, have a career as well as have a nice family life and love. So.
Okay, thank you, sirs. The next question was, what was going through your mind during your interview, UPSC? And the same person has posed another question. How did you being in the Indian public service impact your people and community? So there are two questions, so any of our panelists may.
I'll just take the impact part. For me, the impact is more in a broad kind of scale. That specific money I collected here, I cannot say that it was used for this project or that project, right? So I've learned to take it more in a grand view. And also, I think in time, the nature of government services has changed also. Back in the day, as an administrator, perhaps you could give jobs to your villagers, you could do all that kind of thing, right? Which is, in a sense, ingrained in our heads also, that if I become such and such officer, I will help so many people. Now, those things are more restricted. In my 15 years, I have not been able to give a job to even one person, right? But what I do, I have to live with the fact that in a grand scale, in a larger scale, it is beneficial for the Nagas. So for me, that's the perspective I have on this.
Just to take that part, like what was the experience during our interview? So my interview, of course, really stressed, and they will agree when you go to that UPSC building in Shah Jahan Road, Delhi. So you're not even allowed to take your watch, if I remember correctly. So you just made to wait in a big hall in the middle. And then when the time comes, when the previous candidate goes, one guy will come and call you, and you walk through a corridor, sit outside a room. You don't know what time is it, nothing is there. Then suddenly you're called inside. You go inside, there is a conference table, and there are many senior people. They are looking at you like this and just sitting. So you're definitely nervous, and it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be vulnerable, and just give your best. Of course, during my interview time, I was not confident that I will get good marks, and I was just honest. Whichever exam it is, whichever interview it is, just make sure that you're honest. Don't project yourself as a very different, talented person. They will catch you in 2 minutes. So just be honest about what you are. And if you don't know something, just say you don't know. And don't start bluffing, and don't start pretending like someone else. So that is just advice. Otherwise, impact-wise, I think any community, not only the Naga community, any community, the contribution is mutual. So it's not us only impact the society, I think the society also impacts us. The only one good thing when I landed in Nagaland, since I am from Kerala, I had a lot of people looking up to me because many Keralites who have come before me to Nagaland as teachers or any profession, they had done such a wonderful work. So they had they had love and affection for Keralites. So I got that. So I'm grateful to my community. So just like I'm giving back to my community, the community has given back to me as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sirs. The next question is for Sir Jirakung. Sir, for an IFS officer, how long does one work abroad, and what are the challenges faced in one's posting area?
Thank you for the question. Regarding the posting, I will just quickly tell you, in the MEA, as soon as you join as an Indian Foreign Service, you join as an officer trainee, then you would be given a language of your choice, depending again on the merit and your performance in the training institute. So you'll be given some language. My language was Persian, Farsi, we call it. So after the language, you can take two choices. Some people prefer to stay in Delhi. That is very minor because of some maybe family reasons, but 99% you will go to your country of posting. You'll go as a third secretary. Then you can go for another posting, like me. After my stint in Iran, I went to Pakistan. So you can go to another country of not necessarily the language that you learn. Suppose your language is Japanese, then you go to Tokyo. You will learn as a third secretary, then second secretary. The progression is like this: third secretary, second secretary, first secretary, counselor, or in a smaller mission, it is deputy ambassador, then ambassador. So that is the sequence in the missions. In MEA New Delhi, it is like in any central government office, under secretary, deputy secretary, director, joint secretary, additional secretary, secretary. So the tenure of postings, generally the pattern abroad is two postings abroad, then maybe 1 or 2 years in headquarters, then again 2 or 3 postings abroad. So that is the pattern, and that is how you complete your career. So I did back to back, and sometimes because of administrative exigencies, your posting could get extended. Like mine of course that was okay by me, by my posting in Iran got extended. It was almost, I believe, 4.5 to 5 years. I was there in Iran. So, sorry, what was the question? Second question?
Okay, thank you, sir. The next 2 questions are of similar nature, so we'll take them together. The first is it necessary to take coaching classes? Much has been discussed already. And can we crack competitive exams without taking coaching classes? The next is, what are the tactics you use during preparation? So one of our panelists may kindly discuss your strategies.
Colleagues have already stated, but I'll just say a little bit on self-preparation for the few of you who might be interested. I did this common admission test, we call it the MBA IM exam, and of course later on I did the civil service UPSC. For civil services preparation, I was sufficiently matured, I should say, mentally, and so I just took a small room in Shillong, and I was already prepared to give. So I believe it will depend on your emotional maturity also. Suppose for a recent graduate, maybe it might be advisable to go for coaching, but for those who have even maybe taken a coaching, you could also explore self-study. And that is, self-study would be, you have to be really self-disciplined. I would suggest that you should familiarize yourself very well with the syllabus of whatever optional you are choosing. Right now, I don't know how many optionals, but the general studies and the syllabus, you have to really master it. You should memorize the syllabus, and that will attune you, whatever news you're reading, whatever the Hindu newspaper or whatever newspaper you're reading, if the syllabus is imprinted in your mind, that it will come reckoning to you that, because there's information overload in the internet, podcast, newspaper, you don't know what to do. The only guiding light for any exam, be it bank exams, be it maybe CAT exams, or be it civil service, in my opinion, that is in my opinion, others may have a different opinion. In my opinion, your only guiding light will be the past question paper, the past 5 years question paper, because the syllabus change and the trend change, past 5 years is enough, and the syllabus. You must memorize the syllabus. Then whatever you read, whatever the podcast you see or listen to, you will be able to filter out the unnecessary topics, because I should say that really there is information overload, and you need to focus back on the relevant part to clear the exam, because you are giving this exam to clear it, not for it's not a theoretical exercise to gain the knowledge of the world. So please, in the course of just speaking out, I'm just sharing with you that have the objective clear, that you are giving an exam to clear the exam, not to, I should say, gain the knowledge of the world. So if you can distinguish between that, you can go for self-study also, and for the newer graduates, maybe coaching could be helpful also.
Thank you, sir. The next, okay, you may give him a big round of applause. The next 2 questions are going to be very disappointing for our panelists, because it's going to prove that they are no longer young. So I'm sorry, but the next question is, any advice for yourself at 17? And one thing you regret the most in your youth, and one you are proud of the most. For the information of all our students, our panelists are very young, they're still in their youth. So please don't ask these kind of questions, it's going to make them very disappointed tonight. Yeah, so any one of you may kindly answer these questions.
So I'll take the risk. I think the first one to answer. Of course, we are young, but we are not that young as 17. So it's okay. It's okay if you ask us questions like, what do you want to do at 17? So we are crossed 15, 20 years or more than that, 17. So see, one thing I have followed in my life throughout is that never have regrets about my past. Even today, I don't regret about yesterday what happened with me. Having said that, if I meet myself at 17, I would advise him to focus on some other things also than study. Why? Because once I got into job, then I found my interest in some sports and everything. But there are certain hobbies or certain dreams in which you cannot grow beyond a point if you actually start after you're 20 or 25. So I would advise that 17-year-old me to focus more on your life as well than your studies. So having said that, I don't regret that I haven't done that. I still look forward to my future because every day I'm excited about the next day. What is the next question?
Do you regret, and any advice to yourself at 17? Yeah, so I
That's
think
it, no?
you have answered
Okay,
both the
so
questions. Yes.
Just a little bit on the regrets aspect. For me, right now, as I am in right now at the position that I'm in, I'm quite content. In the civil services, there is this aspect that yes, the earlier you enter the service, it's at the moment the process is such that the earlier you enter the service, the longer you can go up. But it's I should say individual to individual. But yes, the people who enter at 22, 23 years, the career progression is such that if I put it in the state perspective, then provided you are healthy and alive, then you can be the chief secretary or the secretary to the government of India. That is how the system is if you enter service early. So for me also, I'm amongst, as my co-panelist Sashi said, I'm also entered the service not in my 22s or 23s, but the experience that I've gained, like in the Management Institute, in this premier IIM, the colleagues, the outstanding colleagues that I have had to, it was an eye-opener for me. I mean, all the colleagues, and I wish the same experience to many of you, that you also get the chance to study. Yes, Kohima Science College is an outstanding institute, but above and beyond that, in national, if you get an opportunity, the IIM's outstanding institute, the people are very sincere. It's not like they are just there by dint of that. They are very sincere, yet they have this, as some have said, they also have prioritized a work-life balance. So they know how to, have good fun, but very diligent in your approach to work. So those are the things I've learned, and in my experience as a corporate employee, those are the things that I cherish and I look back, and that gives me skills when I interact with top diplomats across the world. The insights that I can give them, it adds value. So that is a personal perspective, but as of say, it might sound cliche, but at the moment I don't have any kind of big regrets. Yeah.
Thank you, sirs. We'll break the next question in two parts. First is tips for mental health while preparing for competitive exam, quite relevant. And the next question is also similar in nature, so we'll take them together. Sir, can you share your mantra or proverb that keeps you going?
The question was what to avoid, right? For us Nagas, I think social obligations, this is one thing which is quite, it's there in all our lives. So if you are going to seriously write these exams, then you have to learn to sort of isolate yourself for that period, be it 2-3 years of serious study, right? And for me, since I play guitar, etc., I used to also be a part of praise and worship band and all these things. So for that period, I had to actually tell my worship leader that, no, it's not that I'm not going to come to church anymore, but I cannot be a part of this. This is a season of my life where the exam is my focus. So I took a break from all these things also. People understood. I missed a lot of birthday parties, friends, this, that, all these things. You have to sort of be in a position where the next day when you wake up, you should not be waking up tired, but raring to go and hit those books again every day, right? So for that season when you're preparing, just cut down on all these kind of things. Therefore, even this question about whether you need to go to a city or not, what Cherang Kung did, like he isolated himself in a room in Shillong. Therefore, even here, one of the reasons why I wanted to go to a city was so that I am away from the hub of things. And there I existed anonymously in old Rajendra Nagar in one small place with a table chair, and I studied every day. Therefore, you have to create that kind of environment for you where you can put in your 8 hours of everyday studying so that it will come out successful in the end. So I think this is something you could do.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, what would be the best suggestion from you beside my interest to contribute to the society ecology-wise? Ecology-wise. So the best suggestion besides my interest to contribute to the society ecology-wise. So I think the concerned student is interested to know like in what ways he or she can contribute to the society ecology-wise. So must be a student of ecology or somebody interested in ecology.
Okay, I think that's too specific a question ecology-wise, but definitely you can contribute to society if you are actually, whoever asked that question, if you're actually meaning to ask about sustainable development, preserving our ecology, of course, in whatever we do, especially in a state like Nagaland, we have such a rich forest and surroundings here. Whatever development we are going, definitely you have to keep in the back of your mind the sustainable development. All these mantras should be there. And in Nagaland government, we always say two things whenever some activities are taken up. Of course, it should not disturb the environment and ecology too much. At the same time, we have to keep our rich cultural heritage intact. So these are the two things, but you can always contribute to the society keeping in this. But more than the level of an officer, I think these are the policy decisions which has to be taken at the government level as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next question is very interesting. Is it okay to lie to the interviewer to appear smarter or better? Is it okay to lie to the interviewer to appear smarter or better? You may be careful in taking the question because the next is also an ethical question coming up.
We actually came here thinking we can give a lot of free advice to you, but instead we are facing a lot of questions here. But anyway, I think I have already answered this question. Don't lie. If I am going to be your interviewer, I am going to catch you red hand. So don't do that. Of course, when we go for the interview, definitely we dress smarter. We want to present ourselves better. We don't go with like a t-shirt and jeans or something. No, we go well dressed. We go well groomed and everything. But you as a person, me, Shanavas or Chirakung or Sashi Popang has to go inside that interview room and has to be honest. So don't ever lie. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you.
Yeah, I would support that stance by illustrating some example. As a passport officer, I keep meeting applicants. We have almost 1,500 applicants per day. across my jurisdiction. So with my limited experience now, when I meet an applicant with some excuse to help in the appointment, which we do for genuine candidates, but now with my experience of now almost 3 years, I can kind of, I can't say 100%, but I can make out who is, telling a lie or who is the genuine case for an applicant. Even my officials, if they come for leave, I can make out who is like kind of like, 50-50 or who are like genuine. So a person like us with some, some decade of experience, so the interviewer board are very senior personnel. They have they have seen the whole, basically they have seen the whole strata of society. So it would be in your interest not to lie at all. But of course that means you have to be completely prepared. Otherwise all your answers will be no sir, I don't know. So then that will be, you'll be, you're not going to get marks just for your honesty. Yeah, you'll get marks for what you're saying. But in the process, don't bluff or don't say something you are not aware, but you should be fully prepared. That's what I would say.
Thank you, sirs. The next question, how do you overcome temptation? And what are the formula behind you being disciplined, which led you to achieve in your life? I'm pretty sure this is from an very active EU member. So, how do you overcome temptation? And what are the formula behind you being disciplined, which led you to achieve in your life? Any of the panelists would...
I think across the many points we've discussed, the answer has already come out. So each one of us would have spent, focused time for that period of preparation. Even the social things were set on the side. So I'm more curious to know what that person meant by temptation, because there are a variety of temptations. So, right, if you mean having a girlfriend or a boyfriend during that period, then I think we're all humans, so at that time again your focus should be your studies. Not to say that there are people who have not cracked the exam having had a boyfriend or a girl. It depends on the persons, but in general, keep the main thing as the main thing for that period, right? I think go by that.
Okay, thank you, sir. Taking a short break from competitive exams and all this, a very interesting question again. Thoughts on the Manipur conflict?
So I think after this panel discussion, we are going to be very controversial, I'm sure. See, honestly, of course, my thoughts, like any of you sitting here, I don't support violence. I don't support violence, be it ethnic clash or clash between the tribals or anything, be it for any reason, I don't support violence. And my thoughts is very clear. I feel the government of Manipur could have handled this issue better from day one, which they didn't do. And I'm not ashamed or scared to state this in front of this audience. So I think it is a failure of the law and order mechanism and the government machinery, and your behavior as an individual and in a mob is very different. Because when in a mob, when in a group, you have that collective mindset, and suddenly that things escalate. It actually exponentially go up, your spirits and all these intentions go up. So to control the mob and this kind of conflicts, the government is in place. So if the government is not doing that, it's a failure of the law and order mechanism and the government machinery. So that is my view. Thank you.
Okay, the next question is, how can I determine if a particular career is right for me? How can I determine if a particular career is right for me?
Maybe my co-panelists can also add in. I agree that it's not a very easy question at this stage of your life, because as I've also expounded in my presentation, that I've also kind of explored with 2-3 career options. But if you really want to know for sure I think one, I won't say that it will guarantee you, but one would be to analyze yourself a bit more if you're really intent. For me, I was not intent so much because I was just, you know, like cracking this exam, that exam kind of, I mean, I wanted to. But if you want, we have this model in management. We call it the SWOT analysis. We call it the strength, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. You do a SWOT of yourself today. See what are your strengths. Maybe you're good in composition, you're good in theory, but you may be not very good in objective. Like maybe for me, I knew that if I clear prelims, I can say with confidence that I could clear mains, and that is what happened. But objective, I used to be not too comfortable, but theory I knew that I could. So some may be very good in objective, but not too good in theory. So I think you have to understand your personal motivations, because your objectives will change over time. Like as Sashi has clearly pointed out, in the mid-career, your priorities will change also. Your priorities will become your families, your children, your career. So, you know, priorities will change. So I think you need to do a bit of self-examining to know which career is good for you. That is, but I think.
Thank you, sirs. The next three questions are related in nature, so we'll be taking them together. What is the key to crack competitive exam, and what to do in case of failure? If I'm unable to clear civil services, what are the other departmental exams I can apply for? Is there any other competitive exams other than UPSC which many are unaware of and has a broader opportunity?
I had mentioned this while speaking. There are many central government offices, especially in the recent years, that have started opening up, even in Dimapur, Kohima, etc. And to get into these kind of departments, SSC exam, just like you have NPSC exam and you have the NSSB exam, right? NPSC exam doing for the grade 1, 2, and then NSSB doing for the other services. Similarly, the SSC exam gives you Group B level entry at many of the central government offices. For example, in my office, the GST office, I come in as an IRS officer as a Group A level, but I have inspectors, superintendents working with me in the office who have been employed through the SSC exam. And actually, if you look at it, an IRS officer, I am at the mercy of Delhi, that anywhere in India I could get thrown. These fellows, they are mostly going to work their career within a zone. Okay, and because of the fact that you don't have enough Nagas in Dimapur, they end up working their entire career in Dimapur. So they get to enjoy a home posting. They're still in a central government service. They're getting their salaries on time, whatever other perks on time, and enjoying that kind of work. Therefore, in Kohima as well as Dimapur, there are many such offices of the central government, be it intelligence, income tax, AG office, customs, GST, just to name a few. But the SSC exam is one exam which you should consider writing. This is an exam, again, I think, I'm not sure of the latest changes, but it doesn't have an interview. You just have a written exam and 2-stage exam, and then you clear it. I know that there are many younger Nagas who have been writing NPSC, UPSC and could not crack. They have started writing these exams. So if you choose to write these exams, make sure SSC is also among the exams that you opt for, because there are a lot of opportunities to work and shine in these areas as well.
Thank you, sir. The other questions are suggestions on books, specific books to study for the civil service exams, name of the best author, what basic books should we start with for NPSC. So if the panelists agree, I would like to take this question. Yeah. I'll just, in addition to what our panelists has also shared, including all the other examinations, I'm also I was also an aspirant of UPSC for quite a long time, but Fortunately, I cracked NPSC in my first attempt, so I was working and subsequently like preparing for the civil service exams. And one thing that I have realized in my, like in the course of my preparation is that there are no specific books or the best author or any, shortcut to success. So, as our three panelists are also here and they are successful in cracking the UPSC, I'm sure they will agree with me when it came to the question of coaching classes also. They are not here to advertise in any of the coaching centers, so it depends on person to person. So we won't be taking up the questions on books. Book suggestions, you can look it up online. There are so many toppers who have shared their experience, and I believe like we cannot particularly point or say that this particular book is, the best for any preparation. So I think it wouldn't be necessary to take that question. The other question is it wise to take a gap after BSc, good timetable, and some good job opportunities in the future?
So, giving this exam right after your graduation is, as I said, something that you have to really self-examine. That is it really, are you going to focus? Because this exam, truth be told, is that it's dicey. I mean, there have been smarter people during the exam of where I cleared who couldn't clear. So, it's a bit of a, I should say, luck. And as believers, we say it's by God's grace. So that factor is there. It's not like that you are smart, so you clear it. Some variables are there. So my suggestion would be that as a person who has left a job, high-paying job, it can be quite intense. The pressure can be quite intense. And if you can do a job and give, that of course the commitment level also is affected. But that is a bit of a safer option. But maybe graduation, if it is just BSc, once you invest 1 year, it will be like, I'm almost there. Let me put 1 more year. Let's say you are unsuccessful. So you become 3 years, 4 years, it goes like that. So maybe you can kind of prepare yourself, or in the midst of completion, I would personally, that is my personal suggestion. Some may go, but I would suggest at least maybe till post-grad would be a safer bet, so that you are also job worthy in the event that things do not work out as you had thought. In the Josh, as they say, in the Josh, graduate, and all those things, but we have seen some of our friends and colleagues who have not been able to do it. There will be a lot of pressure. So maybe a post-grad with the option that yes, after 1-2 years, if then you can continue with your PhD also if you want to go into the teaching line, or post-grad will give you some cushion. So that would be my suggestion, but I don't know.
It's very difficult to work and appear UPSC at the same time. I tried it for that 1 year in Mokchong. I thought that, just like Shanavas was saying, to be independent from your parents, I got that job and I thought that at least I won't have to depend on them anymore. But then I realized that preparing for a lecture tomorrow to take 3-4 classes and then coming back and studying, that was not possible. So within 1 year, I quit that job. I found myself in Delhi, and then I went through the whole coaching. So doing both a job and it would take superhuman strength. Not that people have not done it. There are people who have successfully done it, but in general, I think it's a very difficult thing to try and achieve.
I'll just add last one thing. So from my experience, of course, you should have a graduation or a post-graduation which is job worthy. Means even if you don't clear, you have the educational backing on your end so that you can get some job. But if you are clear about your examination or motive, you can continue preparing. Because there is one positive thing I found out. Of course, my personal suggestion is that college time and school time you study a lot. If you have a gap of so many years, maybe to sit for a long time and study, maybe it's not very easy. So if you are clear about your focus and what you want to achieve, because college time and also we tend to go with the flow. Sab likhi aise amagan bhi likhi bo na. So don't think like that. So if you are clear about that, and if you have completed your graduation or post-graduation, you can invest 1 year or something. Personally, I just invested 1 year, but along with that, I wrote the bank examination, this IBPS, PO examinations and all, and I had 2-3 offers ready with me. So I was like, if I'm not going to clear in the first attempt, then I'll join for a job, because of course that was my personal decision. So it's very personal. So you have heard 3 opinions. So you can just think for yourself and you can find out what is your option. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sirs. With that, we will conclude the panel discussion on cracking competitive exams. But before we conclude, I have a very long question asking Sir Shanavas to justify his action on shifting the ISBT, shifting the taxi stand to the ISBT. So this is a very long question. So since justification is sought here and Sir is here in our midst, so I believe it's in the interest of public service, but I would like to give him a short time to justify his, yeah.
I thought we were here for a different purpose, no? But anyway, so those times are gone. I am not the DC of Kohima anymore. I am here in a different department. My logic when it's not of course, again, it's not an individual decision. I always consider it's as an administration or any department as a teamwork. So it's not that you go and just push your personal agenda in something. No, you have consultations. You consult with all the stakeholders. In the similar way, this particular topic also, we had a lot of consultations done with all the stakeholders, and the pros and cons were also analyzed. That is very important when you are taking a decision in the government. Then the decisions, at the end, you cannot satisfy 100% of the public, and you cannot satisfy everyone in your life, be it in administration or even in your personal life. That is impossible. And personally, I don't recommend doing that also. So if your conscience and your consultations and all the decision coming together, if you think that that decision is the right decision for the larger interest of the public, then go ahead. And that particular time, I think your moderator was also with me, and the ADC is also here, your alumni only. So I think it's a collective question to all of us, and I don't know what is happening right now because I'm not part of the administration, but I feel at that moment, that time, it was the right decision, and I hope that decision will prove right maybe some years down the line. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for availing your time in spite of your busy schedule, and for having the burden in your heart to share with our students your insights, and for being inspiring examples for all of us to emulate. As we come to the conclusion of our first and very long panel discussion, here is an information to all the students present to kindly be seated in your seat as the principal and faculty, the panelists, and all invitees, alumni, Students' Union Executive of the Kohima Science College are kindly requested to proceed to the Red Square for a photo session, after which we will also break for refreshment and gather in the auditorium again for a very interesting second panel discussion with a panel of as they say, very mindful, very elegant, and very demure panelists on entrepreneurship in the 21st century. Thank you all for your patient listening.